Hello everybody. So it is time for another top 10. This is probably my last top 10 of the year. So I saved the best one for last, the most important one to me. My top 10 movies of 2021. And this is hard. There's a lot of good movies this year. All of these movies on top 10 are at least 4 stars or over. Without drawing this out any longer, let's get to number 10, which would be Dune. Loved this movie. I knew nothing about the world, nothing about the lore, nothing. All I knew is that I seen the trailers, and they looked beautiful, and I was like, this movie looks amazing. And the cast is stacked to the brim, and there is a big cliffhanger, and part of that is probably why it's more lower. It's because it's only half of the story, even though I was never bored. I was, into it the whole time. Timothy Chalamet, Jason Momoa, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, killer performances. I cannot wait for Dune Part 2. Just the grand scale of the movie felt so big, and the cinematography was beautiful. The special effects were amazing, and it was the most beautiful movie I saw this year. On to number 9. Ghostbusters Afterlife. I love the first Ghostbusters movie. The second one I can't remember much about. The female reboot is okay. So going into this one, the cast was amazing. Finn Wolfhard, Paul Rudd, McKenna Grace, but the tone was I couldn't really tell if it was actually leaning into more the horror vibe or the comedic vibe. It definitely made it a little bit more serious. It didn't lean fully into horror at all, and it was a lot funnier than I expected it, I think. But that was one of the funnest times I had in theaters this year. And like I said, this is mainly just like Dune is the better movie. This is just out of my opinion, you know what I mean? I feel like I forgot to say that earlier. But yeah, Paul Rudd killed it. He was hilarious. Bringing back the old Ghostbusters was super nostalgic. Just the whole movie was just so much fun to me. Number 8 would have to be, this is actually a big surprise because I don't think last year I put any streaming service movies on. I might have, just because I feel like last year there wasn't too many movies. And for me, when something goes straight to streaming, it dumbs it down a little bit. You don't get the full experience from me. But this movie I absolutely loved, and I wish it did go to theaters. I would have loved to watch it in theaters. This is the only streaming service movie on this list. It is Tick, Tick, Boom. Absolutely loved it. Andrew Garfield, one of my favorite actors. He's probably my second favorite actor of all time. But he's working his way up. I love Andrew Garfield, always have, ever since 2012, and had no idea he could sing. Watched the trailer for the movie, had no idea what was going on. So when it came out, I was like, I'm totally interested in seeing Andrew Garfield in a musical. Watched the movie, just completely blew me away. Not knowing anything about Jonathan Larson, it was very an informative movie. The music was phenomenal. The soundtrack is amazing. Andrew Garfield can sing, and just the whole story of the movie, turning 30 and just still not really knowing where you are, that's a big scary thing. So that's what it is. It's him navigating his life, being a struggling playwright or music writer in New York. Absolutely loved it. Andrew killed it. On to number 7, which happens to be another Andrew Garfield movie, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. This one is another one I had no idea. I watched the trailer for it, and I couldn't really tell what was actually going on in the movie. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker were televangelists, and that was way before my time. I had not heard of them, but after watching the movie, I would go up to not old people but older people in my church and ask them about them, just to see what they thought about them while they were the big thing, because you learned that they were at one point, I think they had the second biggest TV channel in the world, or even at least in America. I know that a lot of not all of them, a lot of televangelists are just for the money, just the prosperity gospel. Theirs, for them, it was really fame. They started off right, in it for the right reasons, wanting to get folks saved. And they get famous. And fame hits. And with fame comes all the big things. This movie, a non-religious person could go into this movie and maybe coming out questioning something, like maybe I should look into Christianity. Or they could definitely get the Christians are hypocrites, but it kind of comes back around at the end. He kind of wonders what he did with his life. Or I feel like as a Christian, you can go into the movie and you can even be convicted. It was a really good movie. I think that Jessica Chastain and Andrew Garfield totally took over the roles. Like, I've seen some clips of the actual people since then. I'm just like, oh my goodness, wow, they really just went head first into that. It was a movie. I walked out, I was like, that was a great movie. Oh my goodness. So I talked about that one long enough. Let's talk about number 6, Eternals. This is probably the second most beautiful movie of the year. World building of the Marvel Universe, big grand scale-ish stuff, very cinematic. A whole new team of people that you get to learn about. It was so much fun getting to know the new characters. It's not every movie you get to meet new characters that you like never heard of before, and that was like super fun. And I'm very excited to see the sequel or whatever they return in next. Kind of bombed with critics and everything, but I thought it was a great time. I loved it. On to number 5. This is a movie I knew for a fact would make the list when I walked out the theater. Was A Quiet Place Part 2. Absolutely loved the first Quiet Place. The silence. This one not as much, but the first movie, being in the theater, just having to stay quiet. This one, they work in talking quite a bit, which I wasn't too fond of. Like, I really liked the silent vibe that the first one gave off, but this one is a continuation from the first one, which is awesome. Emily Blunt is so good, and both the kids, their acting has really come far. I feel like they're not bad in the first movie, but I feel like they get to, like, it's amped up in this one. It's an absolutely fun thriller movie. Number 4, King Richard. Oh my goodness. As y'all know, Will Smith is like my favorite actor. Will always grabs the emotions, you know? Like, there's certain movies you go to just for the acting. Like, I've never been into tennis. I've never seen a tennis movie before. That's not, sports is really just not my thing. When I watched the trailer for this, I could tell, just like by watching it, I was like, the acting in this movie is going to be phenomenal. And it's going to be an emotional movie. It's going to be a powerful movie. And it was. Like, it follows, you know, the Williams family, about Venus and Serena, their whole journey up to fame. And Will's portrayal of King Richard is just so good. And John Bernthal's in it as the coach. And you better grab some tissues, because Will gonna pull you in and he gonna make you tear up. And he gonna make you widen that stance. He said that a lot in the movie. I think Will Smith has a very good chance at winning an Oscar this year for his portrayal, because so good. Top 3, you know, get ready, because here come the Marvel movies. Number 3, Black Widow. Absolutely loved it. Was it kind of out of place? I mean, they made it after she died, yes. So, you know, like, everything's gonna be fine. But it introduced Yelena to us and some other cool characters like the Red Guardian. We got to see Taskmaster. A lot of people weren't happy with that. I kind of feel like it's not the last we're gonna see of them. The whole movie was just like awesome to see Scarlett finally get the movie she deserved from the beginning. And I wish they could do more. Like, I would love to see a Black Widow 2 with Scarlett, but it's probably not gonna happen. It's a great, fun action movie. Like, it's not necessarily like a heist. It's kind of like, it's not like a heist. It's like an infiltration movie, where you get to meet Natasha's family, And the setup for Hawkeye is amazing. Superhero movie is my jam. So, sorry that they're always on top. But, on to number 2. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. This goes back to saying, like earlier, it's another new character. I knew nothing about Shang-Chi. And I think Simu Liu brings character to life awesomely. I had so much fun in that movie. We finally got to see, the big 10 rings that's been teased since Iron Man 1. And we got to see the real Mandarin that's been teased since Iron Man 3. And we got to go into this mystical world of the Marvel Universe with, mystical creatures, dragons. We get to see the return of Trevor, Slattery, and the heck was that? The action in the movie, the choreography of the fight scenes, so much hand-to-hand combat. You get a kung fu movie and a superhero movie in one, and it's a Marvel movie. So and it's definitely setting him up to be in more. He's very, very vocal about people to stop asking him if he's in Doctor Strange. So I feel like that's kind of sketchy. That's probably the best way to do it, instead of being like Andrew Garfield and having tons and tons of questions. And while we're talking about Andrew Garfield, let's just go to number 1. Spider-Man No Way Home, number 1 movie of 2021. I'm about to go see it again for the 4th time, right now. When I get done shooting this video. It's amazing. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. All of them great in their own ways. I mean, you got Tom Holland, you have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Benedict Cumberbatch, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon leading this movie. Not even to mention the villains. Alfred Molina, Doc Ock, Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin, Jamie Foxx, Electro, Thomas Hayden Church, Sandman, Rhys Ifans as the Lizard. They literally brought all 3 versions of Spider-Man that we know and love and put them in one movie. The interactions between the 3 Spider-Man are unbelievable. The chemistry is amazing. Seeing them work as a team is just mind-blowing. I still can't believe it's real. I've seen it 3 times, about to go see the 4th, and I cannot believe it's real. Anytime I see a picture, I'm just like, I can't believe it. Yes, it's definitely the best movie of the year. Thank you, Marvel. Thank you, Sony. I don't really know what else to say, other than go watch Spider-Man if you have not seen it. Because it's the best one this year. Last year, for sure. For sure. Those are my top 10 movies of 2021. If you don't agree, that's fine. But you can comment your own top 10 in the comment section. Love to check them out. Thank you for watching. I got other top 10 videos, and I'm so excited to see what they're gonna give us this year. So leave a like, subscribe, like I said, comment your top 10, and I'll see you next time.